the show, everyone. You know what? We're live on Facebook, so I do want to say hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. We'll share the show later on. I cannot believe it's already December 3rd. It's going to be Christmas in no time. I have my first guest with me. He's been on with me several times. I have with me Brian Mythaler, and he's with Bergen Financial Group. Welcome back to the show. Today you said, Carol, I just want to talk about what people want to, when they come in and talk to us about. I love it. Let's talk about you first, though, and what you do about Bergen Financial Group, and then we're going to go deeper into what you want to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. Bergen Financial Group, we're a boutique financial company, so we help our clients in multiple different facets. We help them with, income planning. We help them with, tax planning strategies, make sure that they're fit for retirement, so we got a good retirement strategy. We do some estate planning. We can do trust service there, so we pretty much do the entire gamut. Like I said, we got a lot of expertise at our location, but we can also provide that special, personalized touch for our clients.
Now, the other thing that I want to talk about is, Darcy Bergen, who is the
Yes.
owner. I think what he's done is fabulous with you guys because he really pushes on the education part of things, right? And you have people in in the facility, that each one that are experts in their area that are good for that, and you come here to kind of talk about certain things, and we have so far with you a few times. I want today to talk a little bit about when people come to the office with you or they call you first, and I know you like to do, I think what Darcy calls them our 10-minute or 15-minute financial checkups,
Mm-hmm.
and they're, it's just a phone call where you start, they're completely free. We kind of get to know each other a little tiny bit, find out, very casual. That's another thing about what Darcy is all about, is not making it really uptight and serious, right?
Yep, correct.
Right?
Yep.
Okay, so if somebody calls you, and tell me what that looks like.
So really when someone calls us, we're very non-threatening, so we just want to really understand, what are their concerns, what are their pain points, what are they trying to accomplish, and really just make sure that we're a good fit. We might not be a good fit for every person that calls us.
Mm-hmm.
We'll let you know, and you guys may not think we're a good fit, and we would like to know that up front. Obviously, though, we think that we bring a lot of value to the table, so we're willing to invest that time and effort and energy into making sure that clients get their questions answered, and they leave very happy and satisfied with the great strategy that they know will take them from point A to point B and manage any of the bumps along the way too that could potentially, that are going to happen, because we know bumps in the road will happen.
So what are their concerns? What are their most concerns?
Yeah, so not in any particular order, but typically when clients come in, one of the first things clients always say is, can we retire? Or will I have enough money to retire? So that's a biggie, and oftentimes you may have a couple come in and one thinks they can, the other one's not so sure about it. So really just understanding and really getting into the mind of what's important to the client. What do they want to do when they retire?
You know what I loved what you just said is that you use the word they, so it's husband and wife generally that coming in, which it used to be different. Like I'm just saying with my mother, who probably never went to any meeting, but I think it's important that you bring this up because it's good that they both know what's going on and that there are no open-ended, like these questions of like, how are we going to do it? Are we going to be able to retire? The two members of the family, they are the ones that need to know. And I love that you said that.
Yeah, because often they have different concerns, and they both need to be addressed. They're both very important, and they both need to be comfortable with us, because we know that at some point in time, one of them's going to pass away, or both of them, and the other one has to be comfortable and understand, okay, I may not do the finance in the household, but I understand them. I know enough that we're going to make this easy. I can jot this down on a napkin and tell people this is what I'm doing and why I'm doing it.
I love that too, and to know what you're doing and at least to understand it. Again, that's where that education part comes in with you. So, okay, I call you, and that's one of the first top questions you get is, do you think I'm going to have enough money to retire? How do you even know?
Well, we, obviously want to look at their income sources. We want to figure out, how much they're going to spend or how much they think they're going to spend. And oftentimes, When people do some planning and they may be working with an advisor and they may just say, okay, we're going to start with X amount of spending and we're just going to inflate it every year. Well, that sounds great, but the reality is people don't spend money that way. Typically when we retire, we're in our go-go years. We spend more money, we're more active, and we want them to spend more money and be active. Then they go through their slow-go years, and they start to slow down a little bit, but their spending drops a little bit. And then they get in those no-go years where they're getting a little bit older, and now maybe they have that long-term care concern, so their spending goes up a little bit. So we want to make sure that they have a great spending plan in place, because too many times we see clients either spend too much and they outlive their money, which is a big concern, so we want to avoid that, or they don't spend enough to get to enjoy everything they've done and worked for throughout their years because they're concerned. And then they get to their 80s and 90s like, uh-oh, what am I going to do? And they got all this money left over. Their beneficiaries are going to love them, but they didn't get to enjoy life. They didn't get to travel first class everywhere. And we have a little running joke we always tell our clients, all right, it's time for you to start traveling first class. If you don't, guess what? Your children will be traveling first class when you pass away. So travel first class.
Do it for yourself is what I think you're saying
Yes.
there too. Now their phone number is 602-652-2665. You can also check them out on their website, which is bergenfinancial.com. Okay, I want to go ahead and let you go ahead and talk a little bit more about some of that.
Yeah, so one of the big things you can equate it to, I can think back when I was driving. What did we all do when we were traveling, across state before all these electronics came out, or we needed to go somewhere? We all pulled out the paper map, the little accordion folded map. It was in every gas station. It was at every convenience store, and we'd have to plot out our course. And all right, if we missed it, we're like, all right, let's get back in the map, or we're driving. You have the co-pilot.
You had to know how to read it.
Yeah, you had to know how to read it. And then what happened is MapQuest came out. And that was like the best thing ever, right? That was turn-by-turn directions. It worked great until you missed your turn or that street wasn't there. Then you have GPS. Now GPS will, if you miss a street, guess what? It'll recalculate. If you have an accident, it'll reroute you. That's what we do with your retirement plan. We make sure you got the GPS.
I love that.
Yep.
So you're the GPS for everybody out there. I think the best thing for people to do, and I'm going to give you another website because I remember that there's another one that Darcy also likes. It's retirewithdarcy.com. Either one will go to him, but it's got a good idea to just try this one, retirewithdarcy.com. Again, their phone number is 602-652-2665. They do free consultations, and what they really love to do is start off with that free 15-minute, it's a financial checkup, if you want to call it, and just sit down and find out, are we a good fit or not? Before we go to a break, what do you want to say to them?
I would just like to say, again, if you have concerns, if you have questions, come see us. We'll definitely help talk you through it. We'll have a good strategy session, find out what's important to you.
What I also think is important in this market, especially, we're going to talk a little bit about the volatility of this market and everything that's going on. Everybody's got questions. A lot of people, I think, are holding tight, because they want to see what this new year is going to bring, right? Yep. Regardless of what it is, they do want to see what's going on. They're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and Darcy, and I believe all of you are fiduciaries.
Yeah, we are, yes.
And that's also important for people to know, because they're looking out for you and for your best interest. Again, their phone number to call, you can either call 602-652-2665. That's the office. You can also call Darcy at 480-430-2337. Check them out on the website. It is retirewithdarcy.com. Hang tight. We'll be back in just a minute. You like it?
Yeah.
Okay. We're just kind of putting, I hope you're okay what I'm doing.
No, absolutely. Absolutely,
okay.
Yeah.
For what you do when people come into you, let me ask you something. How many times do you find that there are people that you can't say that you may not be able to retire right this minute?
Unfortunately, it's probably maybe a little bit more. Okay, let me rephrase that. Everybody can retire. Okay, it just depends on what type of lifestyle you want to live in retirement. Okay, so technically I can get everybody to retire. The difference is, can you spend as much as you're spending today? Do you have to cut way back? What's your retirement going to look like? So we want people to really give us that, here's what I want in retirement, here's what I want to do. I want to travel, I want to do this. Okay, how many trips are you going to take? How much do we want to spend on each trip? And we kind of help make sure that that's going to be a reality, and then let them know, okay, here's some things we need to cut back on, but if we make some of these cutbacks, you're going to be okay. Can you cut back a little bit?
I don't know if you have a lot of people that have all their money. I don't know if everybody, there's a lot of people that put all their money in the market, or some people's diversify still, or I don't know, but the market is a crazy market, and to put all your money there, what are your thoughts on that?
So, again, we're going to make recommendations, but the client is ultimately going to be the end all be all. And if they want to be 100% in the market, we'll put them 100% in the market. We have one client that, she's 85, and she's like, I want to be 100% in the market. I want maximum risk. I'm 85. It doesn't matter. I'm okay, right? If I lose half my money, I'm going to be fine. We have some other clients that come in and say, I lost a ton of money in the .com bubble, or I lost a big chunk in the housing collapse. I do not want to lose any more money. So we have to have different strategies in place for the different
So everybody's got a different
everybody's
story.
got something different, yeah. I mean, we would never really typically recommend 100% in the market unless someone's really like, I really want to be 100% in the market. So most of our clients are going to be, a little bit older. We got to have a little bit less risk.
Yeah, and I think even at 80, I'm sorry,
Yeah. Got quite a bit of lifetime left.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know what? You don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. There is no crystal ball. That's
Right.
for sure. They go by fast, huh?
Yeah.
That was fast.
They do go by quick.
I know. I have a couple people that do hours, but not a lot, and it's because I really almost suggest them not to, because it's a lot.
That would be a lot, yeah.
It's a lot to do, but we do it. We a few people that do it, but it's money wise, but also it's better to get more exposure by having it more like days. Yeah.
Right.
Here we go. So welcome back, everyone. We're talking with Brian Mythaler, and he is with Bergen Financial Group, and we're sort of talking about, at the break, I love to talk more here in the break, and I always learn so much about some of the guests that are here, and one of the things that we talked about was the market, right, and what's going on, and people having all their money in the market, or diversify just a little bit, or whatever. But when it comes down to it, you said, first of all, number one, the client is in the driver's seat. They're the ones that are going to make the final decisions. But you, with your knowledge and expertise, it just depends. It depends on each person's individual, what they want.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, we custom tailor our solutions and recommendations based on what the client really needs and what our conversations, what comes out of the conversation and what's important to them and their concerns. There is, the market right now, has just gone crazy. I mean, you could literally throw a dart at any investment and you're doing really well. So, sometimes we meet clients saying, well, my advisor's doing great. And I'm like, okay, everybody should be doing great right now. The market's been doing good. But the other thing, too, is your advisor being proactive? And are they talking to you about, the market has been up, so we're recommending, hey, maybe we want to look at taking some of those profits off the table, right? I mean, we can either just let them ride, or we can pull some off the table, and we can, we can put that into other type of investment options that might fit their suitability a little bit better. We can take some of those investment gains and maybe fund some long-term care or some other concerns that they have down the road. So those are the type of planning things that we want to be ahead of versus waiting until something happens and then be reactive. We like to be proactive.
So being that this is December, and a lot of people, we think about tax planning for April, right?
Yep.
But really this is a great time of the year to think about that. They have till the end of the year to do certain things to help them with their tax ramifications, correct?
Yeah, most of my client meetings today, right now,
Are all about that?
Are all about taxes. We're doing tax planning. If you work with your CPA, if you're meeting with him, in March, April, you're not doing tax planning, you're just doing your taxes. So we like to get ahead of it. So right now, Roth conversions are huge, making sure that we are, taking advantage of the tax code today. converting some of our traditional 401ks or IRAs into tax-free money now and in the foreseeable future forever for our beneficiaries too as well. So that's a big part of what we do. Sometimes we like to take the approach for taxes. Most people think of taxes on a year-to-year basis. We really like to focus more on your lifetime taxes. I had a client come in and we talked about Roth conversions and they were struggling. Why would I pay taxes today? But it saved them literally hundreds of thousands of dollars over their lifetime, and that's why we do it. Because that small little bit of taxes you're paying today, once that bill is paid, it's free down the road. I'm not paying that bill again.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of different things. People have to be open-minded,
Yep.
right? That's number one, too, because you got to think out of the side of the box, especially today. And, and also, if it depends on your age, too. We talked a little bit about that as well. The best thing to do is to have that 15-minute free financial checkup. They like to do that. They do second opinions all the time. I know Darcy does that as well. And they're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. They do free consultations, and their phone number to call is 480-430-2337. You can also call the office at 602-652-2665. Make sure you go up onto the website and check them out. It is retirewithdarcy.com. I love the fact that you like to sit down and just let's just find out where we all stand here and what you got. What do you want to do? What's your thoughts about life? I missed this one here. I don't know what LTC what does that stand for?
That stands
Living
for
together.
long-term care coverage.
I wasn't sure. Okay, but you did mention that a little bit, and it's very important. People think about that.
Yeah, long-term care is a big concern, especially with everybody living longer. We're healthier, we live longer. The chance of needing long-term care down the road is very high. So there's a couple ways you can self-fund it maybe if you have, a good amount of money. Some people say, well, self-fund it. The argument there would be, why would you want to use your money when you can spend a little bit of money and use someone else's?
Okay.
Smart people use other people's money to make more money, right? That's the way it works. So let's do the same theory there. The other thing could be is, what type of coverage should I have for long-term care? Should it be a traditional long-term care policy, which will get you some coverage, but there's some shortfalls, right, with that. So there's other ways you can do it that we think are better than a traditional long-term care policy. Maybe it's an annuity that has a long-term care option on it. Maybe it's life insurance, or some other option. Maybe it's a combination of those two. We can get very creative with funding, so we know we have guaranteed money for long-term care, and we don't have to worry about it again. If we take some of our profits off the table today, use those for other areas, and we know we're set for a lifetime.
Yeah.
I always think of, Vegas, the house always wins. Take some money off the table now while it's there.
When it comes to long-term care, I wonder how people feel like, I'm already, let's say, in my 70s or my 80s. Is it too late, to do that, right?
It depends, right? Sometimes it could be if you're doing traditional long-term care policies. Solutions we have, nope, not too late at all.
Okay.
I've helped people up to 79, 80, even maybe 81. There's other options out there.
I'll tell you something, as far as I'm concerned, it all depends on your situation.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's different, and the only way you're going to know is by having that consultation. And look, I said it earlier, there's no crystal ball. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. But by giving the information and knowing, what the expertise that you bring to the table, and let's finding out what would be the best solution for you, each person individually. Again, that phone number to call them direct, it's 480-430-2337. They're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. They do free consultations. They do second opinions. And also they start off with this free 15-minute financial checkup call. Very casual. Just sit down, have a quick call, find out. It's not about going in, and I know that's one thing that Darcy says, is he doesn't want you to have to come in and they're going into this conference room and it's major. It's not like that at all.
No, and again, we can do the quick phone call. We can, if you want to come in person, some people like the personal touch. Let me just walk you through. If you do come in to see us, which I would recommend, again, you're going to walk into our beautiful office. You're going to be greeted by Cindy or Cheryl Lynn. and everything. They're gonna offer you a beverage. Do you want a beverage? What would you like? We have conference rooms, but typically when we meet first, we'll go into a nice little room where we've got a nice couch and a chair. We can pull up a big TV and draw things if we need to. But the first meeting is really just getting to know each other, getting to know, what's important, what are their concerns, what are they worried about, what can we help them with? Are we a good fit? We don't take clients the first visit, so there's no threat. There's nothing you have to say, okay, they're gonna, try to do. There's no hard close, there's no anything. It's a conversation again to see, can we help you? Are we a good fit? And do we think our mousetrap is better than the mousetrap you're using today? And most of the time we think that answer is yes.
Are a lot of people in mousetraps but they don't even know it?
Yes.
Really? Let's talk about that.
Well, I mean, we see it all the time where people come in and we'll do an assessment maybe of their risk portfolio, and they have a lot more risk than they think they have. We can actually come in, and part of the assessment, instead of giving you a number, we'll actually show you a dollar amount that you have at risk.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people don't understand or they don't realize, oh my gosh, I didn't think I had that much risk in my portfolio. Or like we talked about, they got all their money in the market. That might not be the best thing for them because we're getting up on retirement, or they don't know how much they can spend. And so we see it all the time where, again, a lot of advisors out there, they focus on your stocks and bonds and rate of return, but they don't look at your complete financial picture on there. So you got to ask yourself, am I doing myself the best service?
The other thing is if you already even have somebody who's an advisor and they're not talking to you, I think that's something that you should be concerned about, because I think they really need to be, you're always in connection and talking to people, because I know somebody who wasn't, and they thought, well, everything is fine and everything is fine. Well, it wasn't fine, and they ended up losing a lot of money. So you like to talk to the people quite often?
We do, absolutely. We meet with clients on a regular basis. We want to stay, like I said, we're very proactive. I had one couple come in, and we start talking about something. They're like, well, I'm going to talk to my advisor about it. And I'm like, well, shouldn't your advisor be talking to you about this stuff?
Mm-hmm.
Versus you bringing in something, right? You don't want to bring your doctor something. You want your
Right.
doctor to tell you what's going on. That's why we want to be proactive with you.
Then, of course, they do second opinions as well. You can check them out on the website. It is retirewithdarcy.com. What are your final words for everybody out there?
This is the time to plan. We want to take advantage of our last 2024, and then also be ready to start 2025 off with a bang. Come see us. We'll give you a second opinion, and we'll make sure you got the best plan to get you from point A to point B.
So again, right now it is rearing to go, right? We're
Yep.
starting off, ending out the year with making sure that you're planning correctly, as well as starting off that new year with a bang. So the phone number to call them direct, it's 480-430-2337. You can also call 602-652-2665. Check them out. They're A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they do free consultations. It's retirewithdarcy.com.